is there a piece of work to be done there to kind of highlight that more to faculty, or to sell it to faculty in a different way? Not just obviously we'll embed it in your course and this will be great, but like more of a conceptual like space of where libraries can contribute, this idea of the librarian being neutral. Very interesting point that you were making as well. Just kind of interested to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is about relationship building and being comfortable with talking to your collaborators in this. So a lot of the participants I got were through discussions with academics, and a lot of them are, you know, on modules that I would have taught on as well. And so these would be the champions that I would have dipped in and out, you know, to touch base with to get interest in this. But yeah, it's absolutely all about having those conversations, and I am conscious that there's plenty of people that don't necessarily think the same way as the colleagues did that I worked with on this. And so I think it's about, it is just about knocking on doors and having those conversations and discussing the value here and sharing the research outputs, and talking to other players on campus, not just academic colleagues, but also student support services, teaching enhancement unit. And so looking at the holistic picture of where all of you know, this possible research could go and how it can improve situations for future students. See, I think a lot of it is down to that, building up that rapport, to be honest, and identifying your champions, and then, yeah, just having the conversations.
Thank you, Colin McCauley, Meath University. Siobhan, first of all, just congratulations. It's a fascinating study, and it's great to see original research presented like this, and it's well done to you. Just a quick question, I guess, related to the other side of the previous question. In terms of your participants, to what extent do you feel they typify student behaviour in terms of the fact they engage with the study and so on? Would you have any sense of where they would be on the spectrum of library users from super user through to totally disengaged, and you made the point about how do you reach the people who are so hard, have you any sense of where they are and what implications that might have for the future study you plan?
Yeah, I think, as I mentioned, the guys that I got involved in this study, they were the proactive library users already, because it is difficult to try and reach the students that you should be reaching but you're not getting through to. That's why the idea of getting mentors involved in this, I think, to bring in the third year students and to talk to the first year students about this process might be a way around that. But yeah, they were, I guess, the better students in the sense that they were engaged. They weren't the people that had library anxiety necessarily, although there were some cultural library anxiety people as well. So to be able to mitigate against that for future research, I'm not sure if it is a challenge. It's not a straightforward answer, but yeah, I was conscious of that all the way through this research, that I was talking to the students that were engaged already. But I have been sharing the research findings with students of the incoming cohort since the research was done as well, and sharing that with them, and talking to them about, well, this is what your peers have said in previous years as well. So, if you're in this area that you might necessarily feel like you're engaged, have a look at what they've been saying about strategies they've deployed for getting around that. Thanks.
I would encourage, if you have questions, because I have to stop questions now, Siobhan, to catch Siobhan over lunch or coffee if you have other questions that you'd like to ask. And again, I'd like to thank Siobhan. It was a really interesting presentation, and thank you very much.